everyone. What if I told you that the greatest gift you could ever gift someone is not measured in dollars, but in the simple act of showing up, of refusing to look away when life gets hard, of saying, I see you, you matter. That's exactly what you're doing here today. And I want you to know that your generosity, your presence, your refusal to give up on finding answers and creating hope, it saves lives. It saved my sister's life for 51 years longer than doctors predicted. And today, it's saving mine. Let me tell you a story. I was 8 years old, standing in our family dining room with my dad, setting the table for my baby sister Jill's second birthday celebration. Always older than my years, I said to Dad, I can't believe Jill's 2. Before we know it, she'll be 3, 4, 5, and as old as me. My dad turned ashen. His expression became cold, his eyes squinting as they did when he was angry. I wanted to crawl under the table, having no idea what I said that was so offensive. What I didn't know in that innocent moment was that my parents had learned that Jill had cystic fibrosis. The life expectancy at the time was shockingly just about 2 years. A heavy foreboding cloud descended over our home. We concealed Jill's condition, afraid of stigma, afraid of questions, afraid of the truth. I spent countless nights lying in bed, listening to her frightening cough, praying she would stop, praying she wouldn't die. But here's what happened instead. Jill defied every prediction. She didn't just survive, she thrived. She married her high school sweetheart. She gave birth to 2 remarkable daughters. She became a grandmother. She lived a life filled with love, purpose, and meaning for 53 years, 51 years longer than anyone expected. For decades, I've carried that childhood experience, the fear, the silence, the feeling that I had to be perfect to somehow balance out my sister's illness. It shaped how I moved through the world, always trying to control what I could, never feeling quite safe in my own skin. And then, in 2023, after years of mysterious symptoms, I received my diagnosis, atypical cystic fibrosis. When the doctor confirmed it, I faced a choice. I could fall into the same patterns I'd spent decades trying to escape, the control, the fear, the shame, or I could practice something that I'd been teaching my clients for years, but had never truly tested myself, radical acceptance. You see, I'm a nutritionist and health coach. I work with women who struggle with their relationship to food and their bodies. For years, I helped them to learn to trust themselves, to stop fighting their bodies, to find peace. But this diagnosis, this was my ultimate test. I chose love. I chose gratitude. I chose to see my body not as broken, but as resilient. The same way Jill's spirit and body were resilient for over 5 decades. And every day, as I do my nebulized treatments, take my medications, and yes, sometimes lie awake coughing just like she did, I practice radical acceptance. I thank this body for carrying me through 70 years. I honor it for still showing up, still fighting, and yes, still loving. And that decision to choose love over control, acceptance over resistance, did not just change my relationship with my diagnosis, it transformed everything. And this is where you come in, because none of this would be possible without people like you who refuse to accept impossible, who show up year after year to fund research, support families, and say, we're not giving up. Jill was diagnosed in 1961. The life expectancy was 2 years. By the time we lost her in 2014, she'd lived a beautiful 53-year life because of research you funded, treatments you made possible, hope that you refused to abandon. When I was diagnosed in 2023, I had access to Alftrek, the gene modulator that's slowing progression, possibly giving me my life back. That medication exists because donors like you believed in the possible. Your generosity isn't just funding research. You're giving families more birthdays, more graduations, more ordinary mornings that become extraordinary because someone gets to live them. And you're giving an 8-year-old girl a miracle of watching her sister grow up. And you're giving that sister the chance to carry forward a legacy of hope. So today I stand before you as living proof of what your commitment creates. I'm managing a chronic illness with grace because you make treatments possible. I'm sharing my story with confidence because you've created a community where we don't have to hide anymore. I'm a best-selling author who gets to coach other women through their health challenges because you've given me a future to plan for. My nieces, Jill's daughters, Erin and Kayla, are watching me navigate this journey just as I once watched their mother. My daughters, Ricky and Danny, are watching and lovingly supporting my journey. What they see is so very different from what that terrified 8-year-old girl saw. They see hope, they see possibility, they see a community that refuses to give up. And that's the ripple effect of your generosity. So here's what I want you to remember. Every dollar you give, every event you attend, every conversation you have about cystic fibrosis, it matters. It creates futures that weren't supposed to exist. Jill wasn't supposed to see her 3rd birthday. She saw her 53rd. I wasn't supposed to have these symptoms at all, or if I did, I wasn't supposed to have options, but I do. And the children being diagnosed today, they're being told they might live into their 50s, their 60s, even longer, because you refused to accept the predictions of the past. But our work isn't done. There are still families receiving devastating news. There are still patients waiting for treatments. There are still futures we haven't yet created. So I'm asking you, please keep showing up, keep giving, keep refusing to accept that impossible means anything other than not yet possible. Because when you do, you're not just funding research, you're creating miracles, you're writing new stories, you're giving families the gift of ordinary mornings that turn into extraordinary lives. So on behalf of my family, Ricky and Jonathan, Danny and Yale, my husband Eddie, Erin and Matt, Kayla and Jordan, thank you. Thank you for your generous hearts. Thank you for seeing us. Thank you for refusing to look away. And your presence here today, it's already changing lives. It's saving lives. And together, we're going to keep creating futures that were once called impossible.